Now, when asked about things that come to mind when you think of China, many people around the world recall the phrase found on many products made in China. Well, according to a 2009 report from the World Bank, in the past 30 years, China's industry had a compounded growth rate of 15.6% in value-added manufacturing, which translates to bringing in almost 200 billion renminbi, or around $31 billion in 1980, and then bringing in 13 trillion renminbi, or $2 trillion in 2009. This rapid growth seems to be a characteristic of some Asian markets, but stands in stark contrast to developed markets like Europe and Japan, who lose their market share in the same time frame. Now, during this growth period, Chinese companies focused primarily on low value-added products. However, according to recent news reports from Reuters, the U.S.-China Economic and Security Commission put forward a new survey which claimed that China isn't satisfied with being the world's low-tech factory anymore, pointing out that China's policymakers are trying to lead China into high-tech product manufacture and high-end research. These claims have obviously caused a lot of discussion on the internet, bringing up the question, is China's low-cost manufacturing era coming to an end? And what does the online community think about China's future development? Well, in order to get the answers, let's go across to the newsroom where our researcher Esther Deng is keeping an eye on the discussion. Okay, Esther, thank you for joining us. So what has the initial reaction of net users been regarding this news? I mean, do they really believe low-cost manufacturing in China is coming to an end?
Well, I have to say, from what I've found on the internet, it seems that most net users don't seem to think so, believing that China's current mode of manufacturing is just too hard to maintain. Like this poster who says, the real situation here isn't that China has entered a new era of manufacturing. It's the fact that the current model can't be sustained anymore. And also last year, Professor Hu Yong of Peking University expressed a similar opinion, saying, the golden period of made in China is coming to a close. So what can we do now? I think if we can't transition from a system based on low prices to one on better quality, then the China manufacturing industry won't be in good shape.
Okay, well, it seems as though the online community is taking somewhat of a glass half empty stance on this, based on what you're telling me. It sounds like they really have a lack of confidence in the manufacturing industry. But why do you think that is? Is the online community really pessimistic towards China's manufacturing industry?
Well, it's not like they aren't confident. They are just being cautious, and they have reasons to be. Earlier, in several provinces and cities like Wenzhou and Dongguan, both well known for being home to small and medium-sized manufacturing enterprises, factories have started closing down. And according to local reports, the main reasons were shrinking international demand and higher costs. So many users think the pressures these small and medium-sized manufacturing enterprises face now are huge. Like this poster from Sina.com saying, you see, if the enterprises only know how to copy and how to do work without being able to create, then this is the result. Well, some users also believe the quality is a point, saying, just like the milk scandal, if the quality of the product is bad, who would buy more? However, this poster from ftchinese.com thinks China's manufacturing industry won't be going anywhere soon, saying, I have no doubt that China is competitive in some niche markets with low prices and good quality products. But the question is, how long would such an advantage last? When prices can't be kept low, what advantage do we have? I think the technology and the entrepreneurial spirit are also very important.
Okay, Esther, well, what suggestions do the net users give in regards to improving manufacturing in China?
Well, on this question, I think the concept of business transformation is something that users are talking about a lot. In this poster's opinion, the price strategy can't last long, saying, I think in the current situation, Chinese manufacturing doesn't do a good job, especially on its exports. Many things we export aren't meaningful, which is a big problem the manufacturers face. Without meaning, we can't have our own brands. Consumers are always willing to buy the brands they trust instead of something that is cheaper, and that's the point. And this poster from 163.com also has similar thoughts, saying, we can't earn big profits because we don't have a famous brand. And the lack of creativity also forces her to pay more for patents and copyrights. Fortunately, the government has realized this and already makes many favorable policies on this issue.
Well, I'm sure as time goes on, we'll be hearing about this issue more and more. Thanks, Esther. And that was China Take researcher Esther Deng with reaction to the changing face of China's industry. Coming up next, China's top searches, what's hot and trending on China's search engines.